You know, the whole bringing back the dead thing, it used to seem like pure science fiction.
Totally.
But the article you sent over, it makes it feel, well, surprisingly real.
Yeah.
And way more complicated than just, some creepy movie effect.
Definitely.
This Al Jazeera piece from August 2024 about AI resurrecting the dead.
Right.
It's really got me thinking.
Hmm.
So for our deep dive today, let's unpack that.
Okay.
How does this technology actually work, and what kind of impact could it have on us?
Good question.
Because we're not talking about, like, recreating Frankenstein's monster here.
Yeah.
It's more about digital echoes of people.
Right.
The article, it explains how AI can take text messages, videos,
Okay.
really anything that captures someone's personality,
Mm-hmm.
and use it to build a chatbot that mimics them. Kind of fascinating and a little unsettling at the same time, wouldn't you say?
It really is. Makes you think about what identity even means in a digital age. You know?
Exactly. And the article dives into some really intriguing examples, like this company, Storyfile.
Story file. Well,
They're letting people, get this, record answers to questions beforehand.
really?
So they can kind of be present at their own funerals.
Wow.
Can you imagine being at a funeral where the deceased is, like, answering questions from the audience?
Wild.
Oh.
What I find interesting about Storyfile, though, it seems less about creating a fully sentient AI and more about, like, preserving memory very deliberately, like a curated time capsule but interactive. The article, it didn't really get into the technical nitty-gritty
Sure.
of how advanced the AI actually is.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, where's the line between pre-programmed responses and actual AI learning?
That's a good point. And this technology, it goes way beyond funerals.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that part about Eternos?
Vaguely. Remind me.
They created this whole digital afterlife for an 83-year-old man, so his family could keep, like, interacting with him.
Hmm.
And they say it's a way to find solace, closure, especially after a sudden loss.
It makes sense, tapping into that very human need to hold on to loved ones, to feel connected, even after they're gone.
Yeah.
But that's where it gets ethically muddy. The article quotes Jason Rohrer. He founded a similar project, Project December. He sees it as a powerful tool for closure, especially after a sudden loss. But then you have psychotherapists like Alessandra Lemma arguing that clinging to these digital echoes,
Mm-hmm.
it could actually hinder the grieving process.
It's almost like those two views embody this fundamental tension, right?
What's that?
Like the human desire to hold on to the past
Yeah,
versus the need to move forward.
it's a tough one.
That tension between holding on and letting go.
Right.
It makes you think about the bigger picture. Like, what do these digital resurrections mean for society, the whole thing?
It really is a slippery slope when you think about it.
Totally.
I mean, where's the line between, honoring someone's memory
Right.
and creating this, like, distorted, idealized version of them that just sticks around forever?
And the article brought up some really interesting questions about consent. Like, can someone who's grieving
Oh, good.
really make a rational decision about this kind of technology, especially so soon after losing someone?
It's such a vulnerable time. And what about the deceased person,
Exactly.
Did they want to exist in this digital form, potentially forever? Or could someone just use their image, their
Yeah.
words, even after they're gone?
It's like, are we honoring them or exploiting them?
Exactly.
And who's really benefiting from all of this, right? Like, is this truly about comfort for the families, the people who are left behind?
Right.
Or is something else going on?
Yeah, the article mentioned the potential for data exploitation,
Ooh, yeah.
especially by those big tech companies. That makes you wonder.
Because there was that part about how AI chatbots could be used for, like, targeted advertising.
Oh, see? That's what makes it so.
Can you imagine?
Go on.
Getting an ad, and it's your grandma's voice
It's creepy.
urging you to buy, I don't know, a certain brand of denture cream.
It's like we're already seeing how our data is collected, monetized, all while we're still alive.
Totally.
But this takes it to a whole other level.
It's blurring the lines, mourning and manipulation.
Exactly. And it feels, I don't know, like it undermines the natural grieving process somehow.
Right.
Like if you can just chat with a digital version of someone whenever you want,
Right.
does it make it harder to actually accept that they're gone, to move on?
To let go.
It's the heart of the ethical dilemma, isn't it? Grief. It's a process,
It is.
a journey. And this technology, it might offer a detour, a nice, comfy illusion. But at what point does it become a roadblock to healing?
And it's not just about, like, the emotional side of it all,
Right.
The article, it brings up some serious concerns about data,
Oh, yeah.
security, privacy, that whole thing, huge.
Okay.
If you're building these like super detailed digital replicas of people,
Yeah,
you need a ton of information, right?
absolutely.
Everything, emails, texts,
Mhm.
browsing history, social media, everything.
It's like the ultimate digital footprint.
And it made me think, like, what happens to all that data?
Right.
Could it be sold? Hacked? Could someone steal your loved one's identity? It's scary to think about.
For sure. And even if a company has good intentions,
Right.
can they really guarantee that data will be safe forever? Policies change, companies get bought out, breaches happen.
Yeah. That's a lot of responsibility.
Huge. And honestly, we just don't know what the long-term implications of all this are going to be.
And the article also touched on the environmental impact, which honestly I hadn't even considered.
Easy to overlook.
Totally.
But these massive language models
Yeah.
that power AI chatbots,
Right.
they need a ridiculous amount of computing power.
Yeah.
We're talking massive data centers,
Mhm.
tons of energy, big carbon footprint. Even Google, they admitted they're falling short of their sustainability goal
Oh, wow.
because of AI.
So it makes you wonder this whole, digital immortality thing.
Right.
Are we trying to cheat death with technology?
It's a thought.
But at what cost? Like, are we harming the planet for future generations?
It's a question we have to ask ourselves. Are we so focused on the past, on holding on to these digital echoes,
Yeah.
that we're
Yeah.
jeopardizing the future? It's heavy stuff.
Definitely something to think about. This whole AI resurrection thing, it's not just some cool tech.
Nope.
It's about us, our hopes, our fears, life, death, what we leave behind. It's a lot.
It really makes you examine what it even means to be human these days, you know?
Totally. Like, where do we draw the line with technology? How do we grieve in a healthy way?
Right.
And what do we want to leave behind for the people who come after us?
Our digital ghosts.
It's a lot to ponder. If you could have a digital version of yourself, what would it say? What would you want people to remember most?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. It's a conversation starter for sure.
It really is. We're living in a world increasingly run by technology. We have to, step back and think about these things.
Totally. Make sure tech serves us, not the other way around.